All right, well, this video, hopefully it'll work out okay. It's kind of random chatting. I'm outside, it's kind of windy out here. It's a weekend, I hear lawnmowers and things like that off in the distance. Anyway, all right, so I got to figure out what to do. I'm working on starting a new channel, but I don't want to just replicate what I've been doing. So I'm kind of holding off, really not sure how to proceed. I think that the videos that I'm doing, I mean, it's a big thing. There's a lot to it. And of course, to explain it, it takes a while because it's very big stuff. So what I need to do is try to make it more interesting, maybe shorten some of the stuff up, show some comparisons between different myths and religions, but not explain them, not explain why or anything like that. Just make very short videos that make it look like, oh, people are copying and cheating or something. I'm not sure what. There's a number of things to do. Number one is to teach the pattern, but also to teach the interpretation of the material, but also the understanding of that even from antiquity, there's this information that there's just not very many people going to figure it out, that are going to do it, that are going to have an interest in it, that are going to recognize it. But there should be some. It's just, I think that there are minds that can do this, but now our life is so different. So what I have to do is take that into account and understand that I can't be making hour-long videos on templates, even though that's not long enough. I don't know how to convey it. I need to start out smaller and get something going that's a little more interesting. I don't know that accreditation is an issue in this arena. You know, it is in some circles, yeah. If you're coming up with something that, no matter what, I think people today are looking for people that have PhDs and doctorate degrees in religions or philosophy or something like that to give them any sort of credibility. And in this case, boy, it's just, that's wrong thinking too, because long ago, thousands of years when they were making these and they were going out into the population, people were thinking them through. They had time. They didn't have degrees. They didn't have colleges. They memorized the stories. Most of them didn't read and write. So they had more going on than we even put into it. And that's what I realize I cannot convey. That's something that only the person interested can think about and go, oh, okay, I get it. You have to put yourself in that position. I think I've discovered a test to see what kind of a brain it is that can do this stuff. Have you seen those videos where it's like, I saw one the other day, some pelican or some kind of a bird was had a fish hook in its mouth. It was a big beaked bird, and some people stopped it, and it was a wild animal, but they managed to capture it and hold it down while it was freaked out and get the hook out, and people were making videos, and you see comments where people put in there, this restores my faith in humanity. Thank you guys for doing that sort of stuff. And of course, there are people that would look at something like that and go, oh, well, it's just an animal. There's other people that would go, oh my gosh, I've got a lot of compassion for that. But then there's people like me that it's very saddened by that, because I think, damn, that poor bird is stuck on that because of something that's man-made. How many birds out there we don't catch, we don't find, that are eating our fish hooks and dying, and you know, how many animals are falling into, oh, they rescued this baby fox out of an empty swimming pool. It restores my faith in humanity. How many empty swimming pools have got dead animals in it because it's all everything that we have done? Yeah, I'm glad that they pull it out of there, but the reason it's in danger to begin with is because of us. Do you think that far? Do you understand that much, that things are behind something else, behind something else, behind something else? It's a flow of cause and effect going along. People just live in the moment here. That's all there is. The physical is happening. They don't see that that they're in this flow. It takes a while to learn that and to experience that. Anyway, I'm going to post this on the old one because it's just a rambling sort of a thing. I need to, I don't know how to approach. I'm kind of holding off because it's like, I don't want to screw it up and make long videos and have people go boring. And also, I've been very engaging. When I first started doing this channel, it was so interesting. We're trying to interpret verses, Jesus verse, Lao Tzu, Buddha, all that kind of stuff. The Gospel of Thomas, all of that was very interesting. And before I understood it being completely psychological, there's still this mysticism about it. And it was very interesting at that point in time for a lot of people because it's mystic. or mystical. The more you understand what it is and the more you understand that it's psychological teachings, people don't really, they don't like the feel of that because it kind of creates this matter of fact, the mysticism is gone. Are you serious? That's all there is to it? You know, people don't like to work that way. You can just look and see all of the, alternate theories about history, pyramids and past civilizations and aliens and things like that to realize how the human mind is really wrapped up into that. Religions, Abrahamic religions, supernatural deities, all that kind of stuff the human mind is really that way. It is a fearful, superstitious organ, electrochemical organ. Putting yourself into the verse, admitting to it, yeah, I think it takes a certain brain type. I got to keep the videos shorter, but at some point, I don't know. Yeah, I have to do something different. And managing, I always wanted to talk to people because it was positive engagement. There were times there was negative engagement and I would argue and fight with people. I would spend a lot of time doing that. I shouldn't have done that. It was just a part of what I'm doing. I'm not creating a business or anything like that. I'm trying to engage with people. I'm purposefully wanting to engage with people. So those kind of things get in, they get in. But I've learned enough now to realize who's going to do what. And I really should stop engaging with the people that I realize are going to be negative. I can block them off the channel. I recognize that typically I will recognize those kinds of people in their first comment or where they place their comment and how they do it, right off the bat, that I either need to not respond to them at all if it's kind of benign. You can tell when they're fishing, trying to set you up. Let me ask you a question. What do you think about this? And then they're going to come and slam you with some stuff. So it's like, why don't you tell me what you believe before we even go there? You already know they're going to try to play that game. And you see it when they try to pull it off. So times like that, you can just let it go because nothing has happened. There's other times people will just come up and say, you're stupid. You can't marginalize this. The Buddha and Jesus reference is not the same in any way, shape, or form because Buddha did not die for people's sins. And blah. It's like, you're not understanding the conceptual motif of the stories. They need Jesus to be true no matter what, no matter if he's one hero of 1,000 with 1,000 faces. He's a common character from antiquity. But people don't believe that. They don't want to believe that. They don't want to see that. However, I also probably should do more Greek myth. I don't know. The Bible right now is important, I think, because of what's going on in the political and just the overall climate of civilization on planet Earth, particularly in the United States right now, with things going really bad. They are, and people don't recognize how bad they're going, how corrupt we have just instantly become. At the same time, I don't want the same liberal policies that says, here, Mr. Paulson, you're coming in for medical treatment. I need you to fill out this form telling me in great detail whether you like to be called a man or whether you like to be called a woman and whether you have any kind of thoughts of wanting to be a woman. Or it's like, you know what? That's bullshit. No wonder Donald Trump got in office, for crying out loud. Boys, get out of the girls' bathroom, for crying out loud. You're gay. Yeah, that kind of shit gets out of hand. And then what happens, it swings so far left and so far right. Here we are. Nobody's in the middle anymore. It's going to collapse. One side's going to dominate the other side. Which side is angry and armed and unreasonable and doesn't give a shit? I hear the neighbor kids out playing. Lawn mowing. There's a little bit of shade, a little bit of cloud cover today, so it's nice. Well, yeah, that's it. I'm not quite sure how to go on the channel, and this is just kind of a ramble. I don't have anybody to talk to around here. I live in pretty much Christian country, but I'm in a region with thought that nobody is there, so putting it on video and posting it up is the best I can do. Maybe somebody will see it that gets it. I still need to, I got to do something. I'm just not how, I have to make changes. I need to start deleting people instead of responding to them. I need to make the videos shorter and more interesting, less descriptive. That numbering pattern is so telling, but it takes so long to see it. People won't watch it. That 3-7 grid, oh my gosh, that was just, there it is right there. That's the structure. There's the, early on, I said I saw scaffolding or some sort. I called it scaffolding. I said there's some pattern I see, I can't quite figure it out. And that's it, it was that template. It finally emerges. It's the trip up here. It's the creation is the birth of a human. Then, as far as Genesis, leaving the Garden of Eden, getting covered, represents starting off in life and getting hurt. Cain and Abel, the division happens. We're iterations of those. Cain leaves the presence of the Lord right there. Number 4, division happens, and we're no longer living through our higher awareness. We just go off and live life until all of our inner qualities have been corrupted, and it's time to start over, and God returns and calls Noah, which is us. Noah becomes us as the called person. We're shifting from person to person, and all these, it's all playing out up here. This world needs to be destroyed. And after I've wiped out those judgments, guess what? I'm naked, I'm drunk, I feel good off of my new experience. People that read them literally just can't, oh my God, it's just astounding to hear people read them literally. And then hear the certain evangelicals say that Noah being naked and drunk and his son covering up is because Ham, his son, had some sort of sex with his father. You're like, whew. You know what? That doesn't come out of the Bible, but it comes out of you. What does that tell me? Yeah, the thistles from somebody's garden. Don't let your kids go to that church. I got off subject there. This is the stuff I need to stay away from. I'll end this video. I don't have it figured out. Dan Paulson here, if anybody wants to know. I'm not sure how to proceed still. I'm a little lost and dismayed, confused, and observing and trying to, just kind of restructure my own thinking in a way that I don't feel so wrapped up and tightly wound up and, emotional over the state of things that are happening. Not only is Donald Trump such a piece of crap, what astounds me is this. America is allowing it. That means if Donald Trump isn't there, they would let somebody else like him be there, or worse than him. Things are not going to get better. It's not easy to be comfortable, knowing that you can see this pattern happening. You're the one that can see that the reason these animals are stuck is because humans are here to begin with. You see farther than other people. You see the cause and effect. You see what's behind the manifested. Yeah. When what is hidden becomes visible, that reveals what is hidden. That's in the Gospel of Philip, I believe. By seeing what is happening manifest, you know what is driving it. You know that there's cause and effect pushing that along. You can see those things, but the vast majority of brains cannot. They cannot see that level of cause and effect. Everybody can see cause and effect. They know if they hit themselves in the head with a baseball bat, it's going to hurt. Yeah, they get that simple stuff. But this big conceptual stuff, life patterns, that's too much. It encompasses, there's a lot of thought space required for that I now recognize in life that most people don't have. That's why so few people are going to get this. Anyway, all right, rambling. Why? This is all I have to talk to. See you in the next video.